by Terran of Anthropos. Formerly, upon a cheerless and routine decline, drunk on wormwood, studying in recline, fixed from June by the waning winter's moon, another celebratory and personal solemnity, pondering over the lost volumes of human identity in the depth of the night, anxious for serenity. That tap at my door, only this visitor I muttered, and nothing more. Distinctly I swooned, no serenity until June. But now around the Pisces fire, only wisdom do I desire. There is no balm in Gilead, no respite or nepenthe, as the embers wrought upon the ghost of our humanity. Harvesting the mind's fruition, never the morrow's mission. From these volumes I render only a fate of sorrow and perdition. From the pages come the raven, as June has been lost to the seasons, a new moon resurrects ancient reasons. A passion named by the angels, nameless here forevermore. The thrill of rustling a royal curtain filled me with terrors never felt before, felt for me like June or Poe's Lenore. I, a lonely creature, and this, why my heart is beating, the tempting delusion of serenity repeating, nostalgia routinely entreating, a visitor at my door and nothing more. Hesitating no longer, my soul growing stronger, I pronounce protest to the spirit of yesterday's yonder. But the art of weakness, well practiced, opened the door for rogue spirits to wander, replacing Adam to only ponder. So into the darkness I am peering, wondering and fearing, dreaming as if I am God into my own soul leering. Without sacrament I have no token. The silence was unbroken, waiting for the new moon of June to send me back and be awoken. As the echo from my whisper, somewhat louder than before, merely this and nothing more, in my chamber turning, my soul cold and yearning, but the creature is proud and discerning. Incarnate quotes from ancient pages beckon with purgatory's wages, slowly weathering at the egress of my identity through the ages. Awakening me from a drunken slumber, at my window, at my door, I wonder, what quote gave rise to the mind's plunder? Only the wind and nothing more, no great mystery to explore, but in me, ancient volumes found their prey, and in steps a budding protege. Through the pages, as through the door, a stately raven, nothing more. You see, it's nostalgia fleeing the abandoned days of yore, this refugee of a personal and ancient lore. Without homage to me, but an aura elevated to see, enters the ghostly raven of a fate that wanted to be. The usual obeisance showed I to he, toasting madness to our shared sadness. A quiet mockery of our horror, a truth that shall always prevail, quaff this raven, this demon, his nostalgia's exhale. Perched above my door and nothing more, decades of delusion dissolve with no apology to implore. It's mean, however, inspired, so a grin I wore. Dressed to match in funeral attire, this bird most beguiling, bringing me a fancied reconciling, I exclaim for its name, impatient but sane. Perched upon the memorials of sacrifice in vain, quaff this raven, as it could barely contain, this manipulative mentor of Plutonian shore. Nothing, and never more. A discourse in tongues by foul? Be not a fool in the clever art it'll prowl. Our eyes agreeing, there has never been such being, blessed to have this mystical seeing. But here for only one reason, at the expiration of the season, a soul composed by word of treason. Nevermore, when other friends have flown before. Still startled by the well-spoken reply, critical of intoxicated senses, prone to lie, or this truth was banished by some villainous master to bring me only coincidental disaster. My sad soul being provoked to smiling, never minding the apparition of nostalgia beguiling, I pull him up a chair to recline if he cares, contemplating the many ominous snares. Engaged in guessing, but every syllable added to truth is repressing, so I sat divining, drunk on wormwood and reclining, impatient and I implore, ancient language, incarnate of lore. Nothing, and never more. Rolling light and smoke as the air grows denser, a fallen seraphim swinging an unseen censer. From these spirits send thee respite and nepenthe. And once upon a midnight dreary, I strayed into this raven's theory, indulgent in his quaintly folklore, without deplore, quoth the raven. Nothing, nevermore. Prophet still, your prophecy is warped. Are you here to make a king or a corpse? Shocked to this dimension enchanted, one request should be politely granted. All this said I, but the raven still with one reply. Truly there is no moon for a haunted night sky. Body from the ages, beyond impatience I implore. Nothing, and nevermore. There is no balm in Gilead for this sore. From the heavens above, and the one we adore, the only paradise is this goddess born of ancient lore. Tu es, mon amour, and so never immune to the maiden named June. That is where the raven upstarted. Be that your word, I exclaimed. From there we parted. To the storm and eternal dusk of Pluto's shore I cast back thee for, but so quoth the raven, nothing, nevermore. Leave my loneliness unbroken at the door, but without fluttering, and still forever muttering, no language my soul can call upon without stuttering. In his eyes, a mirror to reveal the one scheming, seeming of a demon with eyes open and dreaming, casting a shadow, manipulative and teeming, bleeding for meaning while my soul is this raven collecting and keeping. Of course, the winter's ember is freezing. For June, the Pisces fire is burning and seeking. And so the mortal bridge of nostalgia beckoning curses the listener to post-mortem reckoning. Without valor to restore the ancient war, recovering the raven to quaff his victory encore. Nothing, and nevermore.